Greetings to everybody at the Great Mountains Music Festival. My name is Tenenbom. I'm a violist. I live in Connecticut, United States, and I love being here. Yes, this is my first time to Pyeongchang, my sixth time to Korea, and my first impression of the festival is that it has a very, very high level of sophistication, great music making, wonderful people, who I've met many here, and my impression is that I'm amazed. I've been to many music festivals all around the world, and I am so impressed with the quality of everything here, and certainly the care that they pay to the artists. Well, from the very start, we had many events that took place after concerts and rehearsals. We went first to the Terra Rosa Coffee Factory, and I and Daniel Phillips in my quartet are both amateur coffee roasters, and so that was a wonderful treat for us to get to know the people who started that company and to learn from them and the wonderful barista who was in residence at the festival, and learn more about the art of great coffee making, as well as an amazing dinner, and then to go to Gangneung Sokgujeon and see that beautiful house. I mean, it's just all the events are terrific. You know, the Korean traditional music that took place there, as well as the opera. And so I feel like I'm both a participant in the festival and one of the audience. And boy, what a great time I've had. You know, I'm now 60 years old, which I understand is a big birthday in Korea. And I think that one of the reasons that 60 is a big birthday is that maybe you don't have so many birthdays left, and it's a big celebration when you arrive there. But I also think that there's much to do and much to enjoy in life. And of course everyone needs sleep, but if you sleep too much, you miss many good things. And for me, breakfast is the most enjoyable meal of the day. Really like breakfast. And because of jet lag and whatnot, I'm up early, so I'm always the first one in the breakfast there. And I'm very lonely until Paul Wong shows up at 8:02. Oh boy, they're all great. I can't pick out one. That's not a good question to ask because it's it's a fine question to ask, but every concert is a great learning experience. And I was taught by one of the great masters of my teachers, or my mentors, Rudolf Serkin, who said you should go to lots of concerts. He says if you go to a good concert, you learn a lot. If you go to a bad concert, you learn even more. But there are no bad concerts here. They've all been terrific. I've loved hearing everybody play, and I've met so many people I've never known before and really enjoyed their playing. When I was very young, my grade school had a program of all the strings, and they came to my school and demonstrated the orchestra, and I can't tell you why, but something was quite appealing to it. And also nobody wanted to play the viola, and in a way I always feel a little sorry for the child in the room that nobody's paying attention to, and I try and give them a little extra attention. Maybe that's why I chose the instrument that nobody wanted. To me, the best secrets are the ones are the ones, the least popular ones. So I took up the viola at the age of maybe 9, and I think it has a wonderful, deep, personal voice. It's the voice most like a human voice, is the range of the viola. So I've always really enjoyed it. Okay, so the question is whether I love solo playing or solo violist more, or quartet playing. But you've left out something also very extremely important to me, which is teaching. And I love teaching. I love being an inspiration to somebody who will discover the great power and communication possibilities of music. And so whether I communicate that power through inspiring a young person, whether I communicate that power as part of an ensemble of 4 people, or playing a concerto or a sonata, it's the same experience. They're slightly different. I think teaching in some ways is more rewarding because you're awakening somebody's future and somebody's maybe elevating their spirit or their enthusiasm or desire to reach for something that is not clear at this point of life, but will become more and more clear as the cloud of youth lifts into the great clarity of maturity. So almost teaching is the best. Maybe the best advice I've received to pass on to students is don't give up if you love something. And the struggle that you go through at the time will seem very hard and very challenging. And greatness is achieved not so much by pure talent, but sometimes greatness is achieved by perseverance and climbing to the highest step on the ladder and falling, and then climbing to the highest step and falling, and then climbing to the highest step and continuing. But something about greatness and how, as people, we are so many times so easily tempted to give up and fall by the wayside. And those that champion something, that want to be great, I think will persevere and keep at it. And in a way, the struggle and the failures and the successes they're all worthwhile. They become like, you look back and you say, that wasn't actually that difficult. And the attitude of keep going is a very, very positive one. Practice. Yeah, if I go back maybe 40 years ago, practice more. If somebody had, I was not a good practicer when I was young, but if somebody had taught me the skills of creating something or improving and being able to have small goals that you would enjoy reaching new levels with, of course, young people don't like to practice because for many reasons, but it's maybe not so clear, things are not so clear. It seems like it's just a big tangle. But I think there's a way of structuring and being just a little disciplined, and then looking backwards and saying, I accomplished this and this and this today, and I feel really good about that. I think that would have been a much better time for me. And later in life, I would have been able to enjoy myself even more. So now I practice lots to try and catch up. Great. Music is about maybe the Garden of Eden, and the Garden of Eden really exists not searching out by materialism, expensive cars, expensive clothes, but the Garden of Eden is this existence in between here. And somehow, when we are able to find that beauty in life, and then we can maybe translate it to our music making. But because music is here to raise the spirit of people above the everyday life, mundane life. 감사합니다 to everybody, and again, I've had an amazing experience here and hope to come back someday. Thank you.